Hello guys, welcome back to another Lumley trading video. In this one we are going to be doing some in-depth stock analysis or technical analysis over on Nordstrom, ticker JWN. Reason for this was obviously a few days ago we did get that kind of big momentum pump. This was on a big investor buying into it, but now we are just starting to kind of get that cool down. So obviously a massive gap before, opened up at around 28%, and then obviously since then really just been on a downcline. Now this is a key thing to note because we see this, quite often that a big investor, they announce a stake in a stock, we get a big move. Now the things I always like to be watching on these stocks is what happens once they open up. Is this a regular thing that the announcement happens and then we just really get a sell-off? Because if so, then it might be hard to trade with individual shares because you don't really know where your stops are going to be. But if we know, 9 times out of 10 or, even 6 times out of 10, we tend to decline on the news, once it's been announced. Then is it something we can trade through an option strategy? And that's really the main thing I want to be just kind of putting out there is just pay attention to it in the future. Is this a regular thing that we start to pull back on news like this? But onto then the key levels, the key technical levels that we're looking at going forward. What are we paying attention to? So to quickly note on the resistance side, just because we are still kind of overbought and kind of why do we start to sell off where we did. So we do have resistance at $26, $28, $29 and a final one at $31.50. Now, if we go back, we can see kind of exactly what happened on this stock. We gapped, obviously on the news, and we opened up above this deviation level. Like we know, when we hit a deviation level, what we always want to see is they come back to test it as a support, and if it can hold, then there's a good indication that we're going to break higher. So what we did obviously was pull back to this level as kind of expected. That's why on these opens I would never really play it long, because I expect that pullback. Did kind of temporarily hold, so we might have got in a position here. If so, we may have been profitable because again it did bounce quite a bit off this level. Still, provided a 3% move, but whether you counted that as a hold or not was up to you. But otherwise, it broke through there, came back to retest it, and kind of got that continuation and kind of that confirmation to the downside again. Tested it a few more times, but now today really confirmed that downward move. So really, the upside is looking a lot weaker now. Probably unlikely that we push to higher highs as of kind of recently, or kind of in the near future. But if we did, obviously we do have those levels, $26, $28, $29 and $31.50 to be paying attention to. But onto the support side, which are probably going to be more important as of right now, which we did also have a resistance at $24.50, and again we kind of break through that today. Be watching for that. We'll probably end up getting a confirmation. That's really what we'll be looking for. So again, watching it come back to retest $24.50, and then that will kind of continue and kind of consolidate that downtrend move and kind of confirm it. But onto the support side, what are we paying attention to? So we had a support at $23.05. Again, key to be watching these. How did the stock react at this level? I think to the cent actually, basically a perfect bounce off this level. So again, be watching this. This is key. We can see as well, came back to this level, kind of a double bottom, bit of a bounce. Trading opportunities always within this, depending on how you want to use these levels. There's so many different ways to use them, whether they're just key support and resistances you kind of trade to and from, whether you just want to be a scalp trader. Again, they provide scalp opportunities. What is a scalp opportunity? Double bottom, breakthrough, again kind of just getting that quick, whether that's a 1 or 5 minute pump, whatever you kind of want through there. There is opportunity everywhere when you're just paying attention to the levels. So that is a key support. Now again, like we said, what we're kind of waiting for and what will probably most likely happen is we want kind of this retest. This usually confirms that downtrend. So if we come back, we expect a pullback to this level. More likely than not, we will fail, which means we come back to retest it, we start to sell off. If so, then $23 is obviously that target, and considering we've bounced off that, come back to retest it, wouldn't be unlikely to see a breakthrough, come back to retest it as a resistance, and again continue down further. And what are going to be further supports if we do that break? That's going to be $21 and $20 as those key supports and kind of those targets. Really from there, I would stop kind of paying attention to it and wait for new opportunities, because that is going to provide us to that gap fill location at around $21 as well. So really that's the overall target to the short side, and that's really going to be the overall target looking at it kind of within the next week or so. Anyway, that is the breakdown on Nordstrom. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, why not drop a like and subscribe and check out this analysis video.